Andrew, all yours.
Um, Started out with a super undersized kid. I want to say, like when I was in high school, I was no bigger than like 5'5", 100 and like 15, 120 pounds. All I ever wanted to do was play professional baseball, play professional baseball, play professional baseball. People laughed at me, made fun of me. I'm half black, so it was already a little bit of a struggle in a predominantly white high school. Just kind of like no one was like openly like racist or anything like that. And I'm not one of those guys that uses that as a crutch or anything. Like, but like a lot of people were just kind of like, I don't know, they noticed me and like kind of would make jokes and remarks and stuff like that. So um life kind of was, I want to say tough, but school, like just being an undersized like person with aspirations like that, it's very easy for people to hit you with the quips of like, oh, you'll never make it, you'll never make it, you'll never make it. Um, and I ended up making it. I'm a two times draftee, so I was drafted out of junior college. I went to Maryville University, which is a Division II in St. Louis, Missouri. Transferred to a junior college in Southern Illinois, where I ended up having my first Tommy John surgery. I was drafted out of junior college in the 21st round of the Tampa Bay Rays. They offered me a rather large sum of money. I was a projected like first or second rounder, um, which I was looking at close to about like 1.2 had I been healthy, and I obviously was not healthy. As aforementioned, I did have that Tommy John surgery, and it ended up like just kind of like dropping a ton of my draft value and draft stock. And the Tampa Bay Rays made an actual like legitimate run at me. They again like logistics aside, like they offered me a decent amount of life changing money, and ultimately I turned it down after thinking about the fact that if I could do this while I'm hurt and have thrown maybe like 15, 20 pitches this season on a torn UCL, imagine what I could do when I'm fully healthy and competing in the best conference in all of baseball in the SEC. Um, and COVID hit that year, so I didn't get a chance to play. Um, and I think that would have been my 21-year-old season. Moving forward into the next year, I ended up kind of like blossoming back onto the scene a little bit. Um, I had a couple free agent offers the COVID year, but that was the 5 round draft year, so nothing like crazy serious. And then blossomed back onto the scene the following year at the University of South Carolina, like drafted again by the Los Angeles Angels in the 10th round as a starting pitcher. Ended up transitioning back into the bullpen like I was in college, and then in professional baseball, completely different entity, completely different world than college baseball. Um, just battled the injury bug a good bit. Uh, First year, I end up having a little bit of a forearm strain, like some elbow tendonitis and stuff of that nature in that regard. I thought there was something deeply wrong. The team, I don't ever want to say anything bad about the team that I played for. We call it our parent organization, the first organization that you play for. I don't ever want to say anything bad about them because at the end of the day, it is a business, and I understand that. And their job was to make sure that their 10th round draft pick was not a head case and not sitting there just trying to like find a way to not play and get money, whatever, so on and so forth. So they just kept telling me, hey, like you're good, you're good, you're good. Let's get you back out there. And then ultimately, like something was wrong. I get a second elbow surgery, not another Tommy John. Just it's called an elbow arthroscopy and debridement. They go in, took out bone spurs, sucked out a lot of inflammation and nasty stuff that had built up in there over time. Rehab that, come back, throwing absolute fumes, throwing really, really well. The doctor that I had gone to had said like he kind of sees where there's a little bit of like old UCL stuff that's kind of happening. So if I end up ultimately going down again with any sort of injury, there is probably some compromise to the ulnar collateral ligament, the UCL, all over again, which kind of sucked to hear. But I was shoving, I was doing really well, and then randomly, like things just started to take another downhill turn. Um, Ended up getting a PRP injection, a platelet-rich plasma injection. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but they take a ton of your blood out, like an uncomfortable amount of blood out of your arm or wherever, like their anchor site. Spin it around in a centrifuge to get all the platelets um, put into. So I wish I could show you the pictures right now, but they take a ton of blood out to put in like a bottle cap sized amount of blood because there's only so many platelets in there, and then they re-inject it into the site of like pain or discomfort. So I got it re-injected into my inner elbow where I was having the issues and the discomfort. Kind of helped a little bit, not gonna lie. It's basically like your body's own like steroid injection that it creates. Um, and I come back for spring training the following year and I'm throwing 91, 94, nothing crazy like I used to. I'm competing. I am having pain, is what it is. Don't care. I want to go break camp this year. I want to make a team. I want to make a roster. Um, they're like, hey, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. They're like, okay, we're going to go ahead and release you. Okay. So that's a tough pill to swallow. While I've been rehabbing that, I've had the pleasure of being a part of BJ's business of Good Baseball, going in as a business partner with him and former big leaguer Ian Kroll. And literally within like 24 to 48 hours, DJ's like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm getting boots on ground and opening a facility. I need some pillars. And like, you're a guy that's going to be rehabbing, so this would be great. I said, yeah, let's do it. End up getting Ian Kroll on board too. And we've been open for about 5.5, 6 months now. And it's been great. I get to practice my philosophy uh, about what it means to be a pitcher, about development, everything in that regard. I start doing content. Unironically enough, I get a random Instagram message from C-Rod over here one day asking if he can like talk to me about my minor league experience. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm usually very just kind of like don't go on social medias that much. I'm just kind of like whatever. But I just kind of started getting into the content realm, and I thought maybe it's a bot, whatever. I get bot messages all the time, and I go ahead and I take a look. I'm like, oh no, he's not a bot. Like, sure, whatever. Like, I'll talk to the guy. Like, I'm here to help anybody make their dreams come true because I know what it's like to have your dreams kind of get poo-pooed all over. So end up hitting it off, have a great conversation with him. He's conveniently 30 minutes from our facility. He comes in that day, meets everybody, and DJ could sell whatever. So he starts shooting the shiznit with Chris and took off, and here we are now. So sorry, that was a lot of information, a large mouthful. Yeah.
I think, Chris, you'd agree you were a little surprised to see baseball being played in the UK, and the sort of passion that exists over here. And I think, yeah, a lot of people when they find us have no idea that baseball is a thing at all in the UK. Andrew, to give you some context, the level that we're playing at, or most people in the UK are playing at, I mean,
it's Little League.
Yeah. like I'd say a high school team, but probably a whatever it is below high school, junior high, would probably completely
Junior varsity, maybe?
Yeah, they would probably trash us.
Don't play us down here, Jack. Don't play us down here.
Okay, maybe a high school team.
Hey, James is the coach, by the way, Andrew.
Okay.
But James actually played for Team GB, the youth side of Team GB. So James actually played at a bit of a higher level than most of us. So James, I'll let you talk about that, perhaps.
Yeah, I started playing when I was about 10, 11-ish. Played up until I was about 16 for the Plymouth Mariners, the opposite side of Plymouth to us. I got the chance to go up to a training session, or it was a training session where they like pick you whether you want to play for the GB team, and I luckily got picked. I did play for he's bigging it up here. I played for the B team. There was an A team and a B team that went away to Prague, and I was on the B team. And I played in most of the games. Started off as a catcher, and I played outfield for them. Knees aren't that anymore. I'm nearly 40, and then I had a long break from like 16. I found girls and alcohol, and then last year, probably about April, May time, I found the Outlaws on Instagram. I was like, oh, I'll go try a session, and then that's it. I'm hooked again. And then Jack asked me to be a coach, and now I've ended up being head coach. And yeah,
It's definitely a growing sport here on our side of the pond. I saw a stat the other day. I think it's something like there's 80% more baseball clubs in the UK than there were 5 years ago, which makes it
Oh wow.
one of the UK's, if not the UK's fastest growing sports, which is, pretty wild to think.
Also we us as well, Jack. Don't forget us. We've gone from what 15 to 20 people to about 45, 45 people on our lap within 6 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
and they're killing the social media game. I mean, over there, I mean, I don't know how you guys are like fighting them off with a stick. You probably got new people every time.
yeah, it's hard to ultimately we are introducing people to baseball, and they're in their late 20s or 30s or older. That's kind of where we're at. And I think one of our main ambitions, and Chris, I've said this to you, we would love to start a bit of a sort of get younger people involved. The ship has sailed for us to do anything other than play for fun, and that's okay. I think we've all kind of accepted that, but it would be amazing to think if we could have someone start at a young age at our club, go on, maybe play sort of college ball in the States or anything like that, and
just be the next Harry Ford.
Yeah,
we're aiming this at you, Leo. We're aiming this at you, Leo.
yeah.
You see people like that all the time from like Australia. I've had the pleasure of playing with plenty of Australian people in my lifetime. Obviously, baseball is probably a little bit bigger over in Australia. They have the Australian Winter League, and I mean even Canada too. Like one of my roommates in college and in pro ball was Canadian, but Canadians obviously hockey and baseball are their two big things. So I don't think that it's impossible by any stretch of the imagination. I think that it's actually pretty awesome that you guys are starting this, and like that's your ultimate goal, is to kind of get people involved at a younger age. And quite frankly, like the amount of time and effort that goes into it, and the fact that like I have seen you guys' socials, by the way, because obviously I follow C-Rod and he's always reposting and collabing with you guys on Instagram. Like the fact that you guys are like almost like just don't care, and but like you're just having fun with it, and you're trying to find a way to compete and have fun. That's the important part. Like a lot of people lose sight of what baseball is about. One thing for me is like getting into professional baseball. It went from fun to like it is now a job, and you have to sit there and worry about losing your job, especially because the shiny new toy comes in every year with a 20-round draft. So you never know what can happen.
Yeah, so you guys provide value already. Someone like Andrew sees your stuff and it's like, oh yeah, that shit used to be fun. Or like I used to smile more with doing this or getting to the field. So yeah, keep that in mind. You guys keep on doing what you're doing for sure.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, like I said, I think for us, our ceiling is very low to how good we're ever going to be. And that's okay. And hopefully, in 10, 15 years time, we'll be able to say, okay, well, we've got someone playing at the, World Baseball Classic who played at our club, or someone playing D1, all in the States or something like that. That would be really amazing. Yeah, we keep it fun for sure.
Yeah, that's the most important part. I think it's fun learning about what it is like you guys are doing and like how you're navigating all of this, because again, like that, like it's nice to see people bonding over something that like I also love. And the baseball world is such a small one, which you play long enough, you know somebody that knows somebody like really well. So it's never like, like I might know that person, or I might know, and it's like, oh no, like me and him were like brothers in minor league baseball. That's where a lot of the fun comes in now, is like reminiscing on like memories with people, or the opportunities you had. Is very difficult to like stay in the moment, especially when you're getting to that 30-year mark like myself. which I know doesn't sound terribly old in the grand scheme of things, but in the baseball world, it's a little late to the party. And I'm still trying to play. I am. I'm competing every day. I'm working out every day. I'm training every day, trying to just kind of get back out there and see what happens. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's almost like not fun sometimes, because it's like you do everything. I just had 2 pro days. I flew across the Midwest and then down to the Southeast for 2 pro days. I've been up to 96, 97 miles an hour again at our facility. And then I'm flying down to these places and I'm doing all the prep work and everything. And I'm 91, 92, and it's just like very like disappointing. So just being able to like, again, watch people smile and have fun doing the thing, playing the sport, is actually very rejuvenating in the world of baseball.
Oh yeah. Every time I see somebody learning for the first smile, instant smile on my face. I talked to a couple of guys from Africa that are trying to get there, and it's just like seeing what they have to do to play. Like, I mean, no offense to you guys, I got it way worse than you.
At least it's sunny over there.
Yeah,
They got the sun. They got the good weather.
that is
right?
true. They might have the better
every
one.
single day.
I'll
You
give
want to
them
see what
that.
it's like out here right now.
It's pretty bad
you
over
guys-
here too.
You
Yeah,
guys probably you probably got us beat. We've had snow on the ground for a month, I think.
We
Like,
just
I'm
got rain.
tired of
Just rain,
Yeah,
rain,
yeah.
rain.
It's been. I think we're all waiting for the summer to come to get playing for good. That's for sure. We should get our fixture list in the next couple of weeks. So quite excited for that.
How are you guys like structured? Is it like, do you guys have multiple teams, like more than just 2, obviously? Like, and you guys are doing a whole like league of sorts, or what?
There is the British Baseball Federation, which is effectively Britain's MLB organization, I suppose, and that is structured into 5 divisions, D1 through D5. D1, people describe it, I think it's about the level of probably a D2, D3 college program in the US,
Okay.
that level. And that is mostly guys who played in the States. It's mostly Americans living in the UK, or guys from like the Dominican Republic and stuff like that. There's not a lot of homegrown, no, that's for sure. A few, but not so many. The level we have a D5 and a D4 team. So we're very much at the sort of lower end of the pyramid, effectively, here in the southwest of the UK. So we play teams within about 100-mile radius.
You're cricketers. Get those guys.
Yeah,
We do,
we've got cricket players.
We've got a few cricket players. We've got a few, guys from Sri Lanka on the team.
Is cricket pretty big over there, or is that more?
Yeah.
Okay, because at our facility, like the majority of it is just cricket lanes, and it's just a bunch of like super young cricket players.
More baseball.
Yeah. Cricket is the big bat and ball sport here. You see our guys who play cricket, who play baseball, they throw in a very sort of over the top kind of arm slot. I don't think it translates quite as much as people think. Obviously, you have the hand-eye coordination and hitting a ball, is hitting a ball, but it's quite different. It's quite different.
They made that one movie about the 2 cricket players getting into like professional baseball. They ended up getting signed by the Pirates, and I think one of them ended up making it to the big leagues. But it is very different. Like, sure, the throwing motion is a throwing motion, but it's very different. The swing is different.
It was something I wanted to pick your brains on, Andrew. I mean, the amount of injuries and surgeries that you've had. How the hell did you keep going?
It was more of this is just a setback, not a permanent ending. In the world of baseball, 99% of people are faith-based. They believe God put them in baseball and gave them an ability to swing the bat, run super fast, or throw the absolute crap out of the ball, right? So along the way of baseball, I kind of like found my faith too, and have fallen into the whole like God has put me here for a reason. And what is that? Whether it's to meet people, to do like seeing that like I can still throw a baseball with no pain or discomfort right now. It's just all the more reason for me to keep going. There's a means to financial stability. I mean, major league minimum is $1 million right now. You play long enough, like you'll be set for life. You see these people signing. Shohei Ohtani signing a $750 million contract. Now, I'm no Shohei, no one is. But with that being said, like that's money that will never leave for generations. So it can create generational wealth to help take care of your family, like your family to come, your family that you'll never meet in your entire life, quite frankly. So when you play baseball, there's this level of just being stubborn at heart and wanting to like not fail, and like you don't want to get out 2 out of 3 times, or you don't want to get out 7 out of 10 times. Like you want to succeed as much as possible. So I don't know. I think like also as I'm getting older, there's this like slight fear of like having to get into the real workforce, like playing a child's sport, pretty much like a child's game, but I'm getting paid 6-7 figures to do it. That's always on the horizon. You go to college to play baseball at the SEC level, ACC level. You don't really get a degree that means much. My degree was in something called interdisciplinary studies. I don't know. That's a great question. I've actually never really thought of it like that at all. But I guess I'm going to keep going until God decides that it's no longer time for me to keep going.
Andrew, maybe I can ask, because people turn up, like I said, and start playing in their 20s, 30s, and older, and realize that baseball is really hard, right? What would be sort of the one or two things people can do to really make it easier and improve quickly? Because I think we see a lot of people who are frustrated by how hard it is.
My 2 cents on that would be embrace failure. Like it's literally a sport you're meant to fail in. Mm-hmm. Again, hitting, you succeed 3 out of 10 times, you're a Hall of Famer. So like only the best do that. Actually, everybody else is averaging failing levels of hitting. Pitching, you succeed 7 out of 10 times, like you're still considered a great, and it's like that's still 70%. You embrace failure. I'll actually read this to you. I got this message from one of my athletes today, and I'm putting him on the spot, but he threw live today for his high school. He said, "Hey, I threw 2 innings. I had 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, no hits, 62% strikes, which is probably about average to good. Didn't feel great, honestly, and I topped 82 miles an hour, which is a new overall like record for him. Like we call it a PR. So I really don't know what's going on. I just feel off. I don't understand. Like as a coach, I'm looking at that and I'm like, everything sounds great until that last sentence where he says everything just feels off. Like you just absolutely shoved, and you're going to sit here and complain about shoving. Like you have to take the wins when you get them and build on them, because this sport will chew you up and spit you out. It's so unforgiving. It's played on a diamond. So like you already are married to the game. And I don't know how many of you guys are in relationships, married, whatever. The way I liken it is just because you love someone or something doesn't mean you always like them. So just because you love someone or love something doesn't mean that you always like it. And like baseball is one of those sports where just because you love it doesn't mean you're always going to like it. You fail, you just shrug it off. So
yeah, short memory.
Yeah,
a lot of things that led up to to those moments where you maybe didn't get to execute 100%, but all the good things that led up to there, all the training, all the practice, the time, and then it didn't go your way that time, but shit, I mean, that's still a lot to celebrate, Yeah, because you smoked somebody, you did something good at some point in time to get that opportunity, and then just because you didn't succeed at that point. I got a thing here. I don't know if I told you guys before. It's on my my monitor. It's a quote It says, ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail better. Those little increments, those little 1%, level ups, they matter. Sorry, I'll shut up.
No, you're good. I mean, it's so true. It's like, here's the thing. The other thing too is like in baseball, the ball finds you. Like no matter how, like you could have made an error like that cost your team the lead, the ball's coming right back to you. Like, or you're going to get an opportunity to, like, you cost your team the lead, you get an opportunity in the bottom of the ninth with the bases loaded to win the game for your team. So it's like you always got to keep your head in the game, and you can't sit there and like continue to reflect on the bad thing that happened. You're gonna fail. Like you are. It's all there is to it.
Yeah, I think we need to we need to learn that lesson, that's for sure.
It'll take time. It's just getting used to it. You get beat up enough, you're like, all right, well, take another part. It's like being a boxer, right? I mean, sometimes they get their shit beat out of them and they still win. So it's kind of like that. Take your lumps, take your bruises, then come out and, try harder next time. That's really it.
I think Leo's got a question, James.
Okay, go on, Leo.
What's something I should be focusing on while I'm still quite young? Because I'm the youngest player of the Outlaws. I'm like 16. Focusing on at the moment that I maybe couldn't focus on when I'm older.
Are you? Which one do you like more, hitting or pitching?
Probably hitting. I normally play first base because I'm quite tall and I'm left-handed.
Okay.
But I'm still quite open to pitching because there's not many left-handed pitchers in our league. There's not many left-handed people overall. So being a left-handed pitcher would like throw a lot of people off.
Left-handed pitchers, first and foremost, like they get looked at a ton. Just because they're left-handed, they have an innate advantage in the game of baseball. But as far as like hitting goes, again, what should you be focused on? I would say don't make the game too hard. There's a ton of like Instagram coaches out there. They can give you all the advice on hitting possible. I'm not saying go out and like pay a ton of money for a hitting coach. Like you don't need to do that. What's your strength with hitting?
Probably more power over like consistency. I'm not great at like contact or consistency.
Okay.
So power would be the main focus, I'd say.
I think I look at it a little bit differently than what most hitting coaches would say. Most hitting coaches would sit here and be like, oh, that I'm aware of at least, would sit here and be like, okay, we need to work on like where you're like deficient. I'm a guy that likes to say, like, if you have one tool, show it off. Like in baseball, if you're a position player, you're like, there's 5 tools. You have defense, contact, power, speed, and arm strength. Most guys have an amalgamation of those tools, but one of them stands out most. Show off the one. So like get used to like hitting the ball really hard, really far, whatever it is. Like, I'm not saying sell out and swing out of your shoes every time. That's probably like the wrong thing to do. Find your pitch in your zone that every time you get it, you're going to hit the absolute ever living shit out of it. And like, get really good at doing that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And then obviously like still study everything else.
Okay. Yeah. That's quite useful.
And if you ever do need any help, obviously like reach out to C-Rod, like our Instagrams or our DMs are open.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be better to like be great at everything. If you're saying like kind of flourish in one aspect, then it might be a better idea.
Things can change too. When I was in high school, like when I was 16, I wanted to be a position player. I wanted to be a shortstop. All of a sudden my arm I started throwing 95 miles an hour. It's like, okay, it's probably time to like really play the odds here. I'm still super undersized. I'm going to go ahead and become a pitcher because 95 miles an hour will carry me a lot farther than a bloop single here and there. I've one of the big things in minor league baseball was you're not going to single your way to the big leagues. It's just not the way baseball works anymore. In college, like there's room for those role players, but for the most part, like, again, you see guys getting run up to the big leagues because they have stupid power numbers, not because they're hitting 350 with a slugging percentage of also 350. Like they're just like hitting infield singles. It's like that does nothing. So
I mean, look at Luis Ariz.
it took him forever to get signed in the offseason because no one valued on base
deal
anymore.
And that dude's won what 3 batting titles in a row with 3 different teams. I mean, that's never been done before. Come on now.
Yeah.
One question I always ask: what's the best way for beginners? Because like obviously when I started, that it's kind of like do it this way, and that's the way you do it. But we get like, not to put them on the spot, but obviously like, we've got Becky here who's just started. And to be fair to her, she is, in the few weeks that she's has grown massively. We've got another female as well. And it always puts a spotlight on her when I stand there and watch her, and she gets so worried, and she doesn't need to. Not that she needs to, but like I just want to give them the best that I can give with a little bit of knowledge.
The best way to teach throwing for beginners, I feel like there is that sort of cookie cutter approach, because I was always taught, like, when I'm throwing, like, show the ball to your second baseman. You know, like if there's a guy standing at second base, show him the baseball. And my arm path has just kind of evolved, and then even like I've been talking with DJ about this. I just found video of me throwing 98 miles an hour when I was a freshman in college to me throwing 92 right now. My arm action is significantly different than it ever was before. I feel like the cookie cutter approach is relatively okay at the beginning. I would assume all of you guys are somewhat familiar with Arnold Palmer. One of the biggest things he always said was swing your swing. I think it's very much the same thing in baseball, like throw your throw. There's a difference between throwing and pushing. Like you're not, a 5-ounce baseball is not an 8 or 10 pound shot put. So like if you're only throwing a baseball like 30 feet, you're probably shot putting it. If you're throwing a baseball, like there's this whip factor there, like everything is generally the same. It's load, rotate, and whip. That's kind of like the way I like to think about it. Everyone has to pronate, to decelerate, like to slow the body down. It has to happen. So like getting into all these nuanced details about, are you typically someone who like supinates or pronates, and like getting into the athletics or this guy or that guy that make it like super convoluted and overcomplicated. It's like there's a level for that, but at the same time, it's like they're not generally understanding the simplicities of baseball. Like my mom always said, like, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So if for beginners, especially, just keep it as simple as possible. You can teach them the fundamentals, like step, point, and throw. Like, remember when I was a PE teacher in high school, I was doing this co-op work experience thing to teach all the little kids how to throw baseballs or throw a football. It was like point at your target and then throw, like equal opposites. Like this goes up, this goes, like their body's always going to find equilibrium and like a balance point. You can never go wrong with like point, reach, and follow through, whatever, you know. But from that point, like the body will start to like the body mind connectivity is going to start to really adapt and figure out what's the path of least resistance. There's a time and place to work on things. Like I would assume your guys' season is coming up like now.
Yeah.
Probably not the time and place to be working on like changing your arm path completely. In the off season, if you guys are having like off season practices and trying to like actually get better and like really compete, like yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, hey, Andrew, thanks for doing this, man. Appreciate it. I mean, I know they do. So
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and then again, like I promise you, this is not for clout or anything like that. But Instagram's always open. You guys feel free to follow, DM, anything. Like you ever need help with anything, like reach out to me.